Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a cook with me in honor of my husband's birthday. And for his birthday, I made his favorite Puerto Rican meal, which is white rice, red beans, bistec encebollado, and plátano maduro. If you did not know, my husband is also the editor for every single one of my YouTube videos. He's in charge of the music, putting everything together. He is simply the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, let's jump right into this recipe so you guys can make this delicious meal this week. All right, let's jump right into it. I have a deep pan here set over high heat, which is about the number 6.5, and a couple of bistecs that I have been marinating for a couple of days, about 2 days. And I marinated them with the juice of half of a lime, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, half a teaspoon of adobo, a pinch of black pepper, half a teaspoon of oregano. Now, all of the ingredients are going to be listed in the description box below, so please be sure to check that out. And then I'm going to start off by adding about half of a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil to that hot pan. And I'm going to sear 1 small white onion and half of a red bell pepper. You can use any color peppers you like. Growing up, my mom always used green. If you don't like peppers, don't add them. Remember, this is according to your preference. And after sauteing the peppers and the onions, I'm going to throw in my bistec. Now, I do have a recipe, a separate recipe on how I make bistec. It was one of my first videos, and in that video, I did sear the bistec separately. I removed the peppers and the onions out of the pan, and one by one, I browned my bistecs on both sides. Now, you can do that if you wish. It's not a crucial step. This time I decided not to do it. I just threw them right in there, just how my mom used to do. And by the way, apart from cube steak, because this cut of meat is cube steak, you can also use flank steak. That cut of beef will work really, really well. And after I add everything into my pot, I'm going to add enough water to cover everything about 3/4 of the way, because we are going to be braising this bistec on low heat once it comes to a simmer for about 1.5 hours. Yes, 1.5 hours, because we want this bistec to be so tender that you can cut it with a flimsy plastic spoon. So about 1.5 hours to 2 hours if you have time. And at this point, do not check for salt. You want to wait until the very end to add any extra spices and even a little extra vinegar if you like. And now that step 1 is done and my bistec is braising, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rest of my dishes, starting off with my white rice. Now, we're a small family. We're only a family of 4, and my kids are still pretty young and they don't eat a lot, so I'm just making a small pot of rice. I like to start by adding a little bit of olive oil, about 1 teaspoon of some salt, and about 2 cups of water, because I'll be adding in 1.5 cups of rice. And then once the water comes to a boil, I'm going to throw in my rice that has been washed and rinsed. A lot of people ask me that, do you wash your rice? Yes, I do wash my rice. I know it's debatable. It's really a matter of preference, but I do wash it. And shocking, I used to not wash my rice until my mom really got on me for that. And now I wash my rice religiously. So yeah, so I'm going to throw in my rice, and as you can see, the water stopped boiling because it dropped the temperature in the water, and that is okay. We're going to wait until it comes right back up to a simmer. And once it does, I'm going to set my heat down to medium heat and put the lid on until the water evaporates, and then we'll go from there. And it only takes me about 5 minutes for the water to evaporate every single time. And what I like to do, I like to give it a good stir and make like a little mountain and bring the rice to the middle of the caldero so that it doesn't stick to the sides. This tends to happen when you're cooking rice in the caldero. And the rice should be about halfway cooked at this point. I'm going to set my heat to low heat, put the cover on, and just let it be. And moving on to our next side dish is the red beans, which is my husband's favorite. And I'm going to add a little drop of extra virgin olive oil and let it get nice and hot. And when it does, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of some chopped cooking ham. And I'm going to saute that until it's nice and brown. And once it is, I'm going to add a little bit of some chopped white onion. This is about 1/4 of a white chopped onion. I normally don't do this. Don't add onion. I like to do that to like black beans and stuff like that. But since this is a special birthday meal, I want to make it a little extra flavorful. Not that it's not already flavorful. It's always very flavorful, but you know, just add a little extra. And I'm gonna saute that really nicely until my onions are nice and translucent and fragrant. All right, and you already know that what makes Puerto Rican beans so special is all of the heavy flavorings and the spices. The star of the show is the sofrito. This is about a tablespoon of my fresh homemade sofrito, which I do have 2 videos on how to make it. I have an authentic version and a basic version if you live in the States and have a hard time finding certain ingredients. I'm gonna add that in, and then I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of tomato sauce. I like to add equal parts of sofrito and the tomato sauce. It's just very easy for me to follow and remember. And 1 pack of Goya sazon with culantro y achote. You don't have to use Goya. There's also other brands like Padilla, Knorr, etc. And then 1 packet of Goya pork sazon, which is just pork flavor concentrate. Then a little dash of dried oregano flakes. A couple of pimientos, or chopped pimientos, I should say. Couple of olives, because why not? And then 1/2 teaspoon of white sugar. I learned this trick from a very old Puerto Rican cookbook. This is nothing new. It is really good, and it helps to balance all of the acidity and all that savoriness really, really well. Gonna give that a really good stir and saute until it's nice and fragrant. All right, and now that all of my ingredients are nice and sauteed, I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 can of small red beans. I got these from Walmart, and I do drain the liquid that's in it. I'm gonna throw that in there, and then I'm going to fill up my can all the way to the top with water and throw that in the caldero as well. That measuring, it cannot get any more easier than that. Now, when it comes to Puerto Rican beans, we tend to add chopped pumpkin, and you've probably seen us add chopped potato. And those are really good ingredients to add because not only are they delicious, but they're also very high in starch, and the starch helps to thicken up the broth. However, I recently came across a trick that I saw on a very popular YouTube channel called Terry Ann's Kitchen. She's amazing. Be sure to check her out. She posts incredible Caribbean recipes. But anyway, what she likes to do is she grabs a couple of the beans, mashes them up on the side, and then she throws them into the stewed bean mixture. And the starch from the mashed beans helps to thicken up the broth really nicely without needing to add any extra vegetables. So it's a really good trick, very convenient, and great if you do not have potato on hand or pumpkin to add to your beans, but you still want to thicken up that broth really nicely. And while my beans are cooking and everything is almost done, the very last thing I like to do is start frying up my plantains. And this time I am making some sweet plantains. And our meal is complete. Now, when it comes to making bistec, it is definitely a labor of patience because it took me about 2 hours to get it as tender as I wanted it, and my husband loved it. And those beans came out so good. That little extra ingredient of the chopped onions, the mashing of the beans to thicken up the broth, perfection. And those plantains were so sweet because I let that plátano get very, very ripe, but it was worth it. It was delicious. And that is all for today's video. If you've enjoyed today's Cook With Me and you want to keep seeing videos like these, please let me know in the comment section down below. I am also open to suggestions, and I try my best to keep all of your recommendations for future videos in mind. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell because a new video will be out every week. Until next time.